Today we are going to discover the incredible story of Lot, a character from the Bible who lived through very difficult moments and had to make decisions that completely changed the course of his life. Lot's story became widely known because of a city called Sodom. This city was eventually destroyed by God because of the great wickedness and corruption that existed there. But before we get to that dramatic moment, we need to understand who Lot was and how he ended up in that place. Lot was the nephew of Abraham, one of the most important characters in the Bible and known as the father of faith. Lot's father was named Haran, the brother of Abraham. After his father died, Lot began living with his grandfather Terah, his uncle Abraham, and Sarai, Abraham's wife. At that time, they all lived in a city called Ur of the Chaldeans. But one day the family decided to leave that city and begin a long journey. They traveled to a place called Haran. Later, after Terah died, God called Abraham to continue the journey to a land that he would show him. Abraham then left for the land of Canaan, and Lot went with him. As time passed, God began to greatly bless Abraham's life. His flocks grew, his servants increased, and his wealth expanded. Lot also became very prosperous. He had many animals, servants, and possessions. But there was a problem. The flocks of Abraham and the flocks of Lot grew so large that the land where they lived could no longer support both of them together. Conflicts began to arise between Abraham's shepherds and Lot's shepherds because of pasture and space for the animals. To avoid further conflict, Abraham made a wise decision. He called Lot and spoke to him kindly. Abraham said that he did not want any quarrels between them because they were family. So he generously allowed Lot to choose first which land he wanted to live in. Lot looked around and saw a very beautiful and fertile area, the plains of the Jordan. That region looked perfect for his flocks. It was green, well-watered, and very productive. But there was one important detail. Near that region was the city of Sodom. The Bible says that the people of Sodom were extremely wicked and sinful before God. Even so, Lot chose to live in that region. At first he pitched his tents near the city, but over time he eventually moved into the city itself. It seems that Lot eventually gained an important position in Sodom. The Bible says that he sat at the city gate. In ancient times, this was where the respected leaders of the city gathered to make decisions and resolve important matters. Even so, living in Sodom was not easy. The wickedness of the people there was very great. The New Testament tells us that Lot felt deeply troubled every day because of the evil actions he saw and heard. But Lot's problems in Sodom were far from over. At one point, a great war broke out in that region. Several kings joined forces and attacked the cities of the plain, including Sodom. The enemies won the battle, plundered the city, and took many people as prisoners. Among those captured was Lot. When Abraham heard what had happened to his nephew, he gathered a group of trained men and set out to rescue him. During the night, Abraham attacked the enemy army and managed to defeat them. As a result, Lot was freed and all his possessions were recovered. Even after going through such a dangerous experience, Lot continued living in Sodom. Sometime later, God decided to judge that city because of the great wickedness that existed there. Before destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, God sent 2 angels to the city. When the angels arrived, Lot was sitting at the city gate. He welcomed them and insisted that they stay in his house for the night. But that very night, something terrible happened. The men of the city surrounded Lot's house and demanded that the visitors be brought out to them. Their intention was to do terrible things to those men, not knowing that they were actually angels sent by God. The situation quickly became very tense. In a desperate attempt to calm the crowd, Lot even offered his own daughters to the men to protect the visitors. This shocking moment shows how deeply the influence of that city had affected his life. But the men of Sodom became even more violent. Then the angels intervened. They pulled Lot inside the house and struck the men outside with a kind of blindness, preventing them from continuing their attempt to break in. After that, the angels warned Lot about something very serious. God was going to destroy the city. They told Lot to gather his family and leave immediately. However, Lot hesitated. It seems he was still very attached to that place. So the angels had to take him by the hand, along with his wife and 2 daughters, and lead them out of the city. Before they escaped, the angels gave a very clear command: no one should look back. As they ran away from the city, God rained down fire and burning sulfur from heaven, completely destroying Sodom and Gomorrah. But during their escape, something tragic happened. Lot's wife looked back. At that very moment, she was turned into a pillar of salt. After escaping the destruction, Lot and his 2 daughters went to a small town called Zoar. But Lot became afraid to continue living there. So he went to the mountains and began living in a cave with his daughters. It was there that one of the saddest moments of the story took place. Lot's daughters believed that there were no men left for them to marry. So they made a terrible decision. They made their father drunk and had relations with him. Both daughters became pregnant. The older daughter had a son named Moab, who became the ancestor of the Moabite people. The younger daughter had a son named Ben-Ammi, who became the ancestor of the Ammonites. Later in biblical history, both of these nations would become enemies of Israel. After these events, the Bible barely mentions Lot again. His name appears only a few more times in the Scriptures. In the New Testament, Jesus mentioned the days of Lot while speaking about the end times. He said that people were living normal lives, eating, drinking, buying, selling, planting, and building, until the day judgment came upon Sodom. Jesus also reminded people of something very important, the story of Lot's wife. He said, "Remember Lot's wife." This phrase serves as a powerful warning about the danger of looking back when God calls us to move forward. The story of Lot teaches us many lessons. He had the opportunity to walk alongside Abraham, a man of great faith. But many times Lot made decisions based only on what looked good to his eyes at the moment. Those choices brought painful consequences for his life and for his family. Even so, the Bible shows that God still had mercy on him and rescued him from the destruction of Sodom. This story reminds us that our decisions can completely change the direction of our lives. And now I want to hear from you. What do you think about the story of Lot? Do you believe he could have made different choices? Leave your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy biblical stories like this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can continue learning more about the people and stories of the Bible. May God bless you.